Hey everyone, it's Lisa here from Arcane and Stellar, and I want to welcome you to my channel if you haven't been here before. And for all you people who are returning, thank you so much. I want to give a very special shout out before we start this reading to a few people. First of all, I'm using a brand new camera that was purchased off my wish list from by Deborah. I posted about it in my community tab, but I'm just in shock, and thank you like so much. Also, I'm very excited because one of my favorite decks that I've been wishing for was actually bought by Samantha. It's the manga tarot, and I'm going to be using it in this video. So, and not only that, Shiley before bought me the Amenti Oracle off my wish list. And I finally get to actually use it. I feel like it's going to fit perfectly in with this reading. And yeah, thank you so much. And also, a big thank you to Vivian for requesting this reading. Because Vivian had asked about what affirmations do I need to create to manifest my person, to heal a relationship, to manifest money, etc. One video for each one. So we're going to do manifest your person. So how can you manifest love into your life or your special person, okay? That's what we're going to focus on this one. And then I'll do some more. The other ones, you know, through soon. Okay, so we've got 4 piles. 4 piles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, guys, take your, time, use your intuition, realize that this is a general reading. Not all the messages will apply to you 100% all the time. Just take what, resonates with you and, forget the rest. But anyways, guys, thank you so much again for all of your support. And I'll see you in your reading. Hi guys. So if you picked pile number 1, this is your reading. I want you to forgive me a little bit if I have a hard time sometimes getting I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about this pile, but I'm having kind of a hard time getting it out. And I want to be as concise and clear as I can be and say things in the right way. It's not negative, don't worry. That's not why at all. I just want to be sure that I say, wait, oops, that was over there. I remember this came first, and then it was like this earth swords, like that. Okay, there we go. Ooh, these cards are a bit slippery. Okay, so what kind of, what do you need to do to manifest a person into your life, or a person? It could be a person you know already, maybe that you want to attract, or maybe just love in general. A partner that maybe you haven't met yet. So that's kind of what we're looking at right here, and then we'll be talking about maybe some affirmations that could help you. Okay, so with the tarot we have the 2 of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the Ace of Coins, and the Knight of Swords. I see some duality here, right? We have swords and pentacles popping up, so air and earth energy. We don't have a lot of cups and water emotions, or fiery emotions with the fire, the wands. And that kind of tells me maybe that you already have deep emotions, you already have passion, and now it's kind of transmuting this into these type of energies. Okay, I'm going to start with the earth here. And, wow, okay, I just got a weird mess. Okay, see how she has these things on her, breasts? I almost feel like it reminds me of the pentacles, like the golden stuff. And I follow my inner guidance. Okay, what I'm going to say is that with the Ace of Coins here, I want to focus on that first, is that I feel like many of you have to make more physical efforts, okay? In manifesting someone. Because the coins and the pentacles are all about, the more physical aspects of life, and stability and, all that good stuff. And I feel like it's like a start, right? The Ace. And I feel like that's what you need to do, is start being out there more. And also we have be proactive here. So I do feel like you need to be more proactive is kind of one of the things I'm getting. That's one of the messages. Don't be afraid to put out your effort there. You know what I mean? Physically, on a physical level, as in like going out and doing things, or Do you know what I mean? Not just wishing, hoping, or something like that. You know what I mean? But actually putting the effort into it. Balance, with that Two of Pentacles. Again, knowing how to balance all of the, different elements within yourself. Like I said, I feel like you guys already have strong, emotions. You already have strong passion in life. But it's all about balancing all of it together in a way. And I'm going to get into this more, but let's talk about this card here with the I follow my inner guidance. I feel like many of you almost maybe getting messages sometimes, or like ideas. See that third eye on her open, and being aware to the physical like steps you need to take. Like sometimes you might get a feeling to go somewhere. I feel like you need to like open your mind to understanding some of these things, like actions that you need to take, like, oh, turn right here, or you know what I mean, like when you have that inner voice, or just a feeling inside of you. It doesn't have to be audible to you, but you just get these gut reactions, these gut feelings to go do something, like, oh, I should go bowling tomorrow, or I should go to this movie with this person, or like I feel like that's one of the things that you need to start doing in order to manifest your person. And if there was a specific person maybe that you have in mind, that could be something about offering them something more physical, like, hey, let's go do this, like something physical, like a date, you know what I mean, like, let's go do this activity, let's go to this concert, like, whatever it may be. And I feel like you might have guidance there. You have gut feelings. But it's about, actually bringing them into reality. Rather than, just having them. So, okay, so with that being said, that's one thing I want to tell you. Now I'm going to move on to the other energy I'm seeing here, which is the sword energy, the air energy. Well, air is all about communication, thoughts, and all that good stuff. It's like, yeah, air energy. So we have the Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords. I feel like there's some kind of leveling up that you need to do mentally. Like in your thought process and in your communication process, okay? For some of you, I feel like there could be some anxiety about speaking. Just because I see that now this Page of Swords looks pretty happy. And not as like... Sometimes in the other decks, many other decks I have, sometimes this card can seem kind of like they're like in my Witch's Tarot, I always think they're paranoid. They have a very, like, that type of look on their face. But this one's quite happy-go-lucky. And I feel like I'm just getting this thought, well, we have the transform worrisome thoughts, okay? So I do definitely see that there probably are some worrisome thoughts that you do have in regards to maybe you're scared to ask somebody out, or you're scared to make that move, you're scared to communicate. And I feel like that's something that you need to, get over. As well, when we talk about, again, like going back to all the elements, we can't, not one element is better than another. You know what I mean? None of them are better than each other. They all need each other. It's all a balance, you know what I mean? And even if we're strong in our chart, for instance, like I'm a lot of fire, I have other people to kind of balance me out and help me, pursue myself, pursue my best self, by reflecting, off of other people, I interact with. And it's kind of like what I'm getting here with this I keep the waters pure card. You see how, like, above her head there is like this, what, scarab? Is that what it's called? Scarab? I hope so. And then we have, like, we just have all these different, like, manifestations here. And I feel like that's kind of what it is. Like, your thoughts and your emotions are very connected, right? So air energy and water energy is very connected. And I feel like your emotions, and your thoughts, they can affect each other, and it's about finding a balance between them. because when you have your thoughts that can, like, tell you, oh, this isn't good, or blah 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 blah, and then your heart feels it, and then you might not actually manifest something physical, right, with earth, and then it might also douse your passion, you know what I mean, because your emotions, you know what I mean. It's all, like, what I'm saying is that it's all kind of a cycle, and I feel like some of your, parts of you are in a good spot, but your thoughts control your emotions very much, in terms of, how you look at yourself and how you feel, inside of you. And so I feel like some, for many of you, you might have worrisome thoughts like, oh, is it ever going to happen? Or would they even like me, because that's not logical? Or, do you know what I mean? It's about connecting this, all together, kind of. And so I feel like it's a dual message here. You need to take more action in your life, physical action. Don't be let, like, thoughts, tamper with your emotions in pursuing something. Like, don't second guess things. Do you know what I mean? And that's another thing. You might have some guidance in you already, like a voice, but then your logical mind is like shutting it down and saying, no, 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 that's stupid. You know what I mean? What are you thinking? Or, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm getting for you. Now, with the, with an affirmation that would be good for you, I would definitely, it would probably be tailor suited to whatever is going on with you in particular. If it's your looks, you know what I mean, I would definitely focus on, curbing negative thoughts about your looks. You know what I mean? It depends on what is bothering you specifically, and this is a general reading, so I mean, I'm sure it's going to be different for everybody. I know for me, looks are a big thing for me. I really worry about my looks, I guess, and I don't always, sometimes I worry about the way I speak, and, if it's going to come across well, because sometimes I have a hard time speaking and getting what I want out of my head. What I want to say out of my head. So it's just like, I feel like there are some worrisome thoughts. We have today's lesson. So be aware of anything you're worrying about. What do you do when you're worried? How much power do you lose, and from what part of your body? Your goal is to observe how much worrying affects your health and to counter the stress of this emotion with prayer and positive action. So there we go. You know what I mean? So, like, I would say the affirmations, like, in terms of that, it's like, and would it be proactive, is if maybe you have worrisome thoughts that are stopping you, you could be like, well, I'm brave enough to do anything I want to do. You know what I mean? I'm a brave person. I can put myself out there. I can make physical efforts and feel good about them. I can not be afraid of rejection. Because, sometimes that hand could be rejected, that pentacle. But you know what I mean? Don't be afraid of that. Then you move on to somebody else. You know what I mean? And you keep going at it. And that's kind of like, I feel like something that you need to do. So, I hope that makes sense to you. I had so many thoughts in my head about this, and it's like I'm trying to get out right. But I'm not the best motivational speaker. I'm really trying to get better about that. But I hope that makes sense. I wish I was eloquent as some other people, but I guess I am who I am, and I'm going to keep putting myself out there, and I'm going to transform my own worrisome thoughts and, be proactive myself. So I think they're, these are just kind of what I'm seeing in terms of it. So again, I'm just going to reiterate the fact that you need to put out physical effort. Ask people out on dates. Go make, I guess a Tinder profile, whatever you want to do. Or maybe there's a specific person you want to ask out. Ask them out. Don't let your thoughts, level up your thoughts. Get in more control of them by, trying to train your mind to think in a positive way. Or at least not fall back. I mean, we can't always be positive. Okay, that's not realistic. But, at least train your mind to kind of try to avoid focusing on that too much. And tearing down your, other parts of yourself. So, I hope that helps you, group number 2. And, if you liked it, let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, if you want. And I'll see you in the next reading. Hey guys, so if you've chosen pile number 2, this will be your reading. So, we're going to be looking at how you can, attract a person, manifest that person that you want, or, anybody, what I'm trying to say is that it could be for maybe a specific person, but also maybe just in general. Like maybe some of you don't know that person yet. And you were like, where can I find them? How can I find them? What do I need to do? So we have the Star, Justice, 5 of Cups, and 3 of Swords. Oof, okay. I offer words of good intent, and I consume only my fair share. Sorry if you can't see these. Examine unfinished business. Wow, okay. And see the good in everything. So, okay, I see. I feel like many of you with the Star card are in a healing energy right now. You're still healing from something. It comes after the Tower, so, you know, often it is associated with, you know, healing after that big, you know, earth-shattering moment where, you know, everything went wrong in a way. And I feel like that's something that, you know, you're probably in the process of still. And I would say, you know, definitely continue doing that. The reason why I definitely get this with the Star is not only because of the Star, this healing energy needed, is because we also have the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. And for some of you, this could have been a marriage that's, you know, been lost, and it's, you know, it hurt. There could have been for some of you, and now remember, these are general readings. This may not apply to you, so you can just like ignore it if that doesn't apply. But there could have been like, you know, maybe you got your heart broken like through a, you know, your person cheating on you or something like that. Something that, you know, would have been quite devastating with this 3 of Swords. It doesn't have to be cheating, but I'm just pointing that out in case that resonates with someone. And I feel like it's left you in a gloomy state. You know what I mean? In the 5 of Cups, she's not, you know, she's so focused on what she's lost and not really looking at what's left. And we have this right underneath it, like, funnily enough, see the good in everything. And I think there's an outlook that you need to start to develop, is trying to see that good things can happen to you. I know when anything happens, when someone passes away or when you go through something horrible, you're like, how will life ever be happy again? I've had that moment so many times. And I'm like, how will I get over this? Like, how am I ever going to be happy? And eventually it happens. And I think one of the most important things is to just try to focus on what you do have that's good in your life, to get, you know, out of that state. Again, here with the examine unfinished business, I feel like there is a part of you missing, like in this, you know, a missing puzzle piece. And I feel like you have it. You have that ability to fill that part of yourself that feels missing, that doesn't feel whole. And you just, you know, it's just a process of healing. You'll eventually get it back in there. You know what I mean? You'll take the swords out, you know, of your heart and like kind of heal it up. We have also, I want to, for some of you, now, and this again is a very specific message to some of you, and this is a feeling I got when I saw this card and some of the cards here. And so if this doesn't apply to you, remember, please don't, you know, don't think it's your message or whatever. For some of you, you could be involved in some third-party situations. And I almost just got this feeling like that maybe you should just move on from this, if possible. You know what I mean? If that's your message, if that's you that this is for. Okay? Now I want to look at the guidebook real quick. For these two cards. Well, this one, I guess not so much, but this one in particular, I want to kind of see what the message is here. Because this one, I feel like I you know what it means. But this one, I kind of want to see some deeper meaning here. Because I offer words of good intent. I see good in everything. I mean, obviously, there's a, you know, spirit, the universe, you know, whatever you believe in, is letting you know that you need to start trying to shift your mindset. Let's see here. Which I know isn't easy when you've been hurt. I'm not, I hope that none of this comes across as something that's, you know, bossy or sounds like that. Because that's not my intention at all. Okay, hold on. I consume only. This guidebook is okay. Number 10. It's kind of the cards don't have numbers on them, so it's kind of like difficult to find them. So let's look at it. Let's see. Hopefully you can see that. My nails are disgusting. I'm sorry. The Egyptian creator god Atum was born of the great sea of Nu, the son of the primeval waters of chaos. He was a sun alone in darkness. Okay, let's look here. The modern world. Let's just go over to here. The modern world lends itself to a dimming of the light of creation as advertisements play to automatons in a wakeless sleep. Yet wakefulness occurs when we rekindle our desires and remember what gave way to the ignition of the pulse of the world. Past, present, and future desires are a prism containing the infinite poetry of the same great stories. But satisfaction comes not by what we consume, exhaust, or destroy, but from what our relationship to our desires can illuminate. In looking at the lesson, I consume only my fair share, we must ask if what we are consuming or consumed by feeds creation or nourishes destruction. And if we are overindulging by feeding the ego instead of nourishing the soul. Okay, see? We must ask if what we're consuming or consumed by feeds creation or nourishes destruction. Again, like that's a powerful message there. Because I kind of feel like some of you might be having a hard time letting go. And you are consumed by heartbreak. Or a connection that's breaking your heart in some way. And it's like, I feel like for you to manifest love, you need to examine that. Find out what hasn't healed inside of you. How you can fill that hole that's, in your heart. And then, be able to move on by, and then start to see, I offer words of good intent. I see the good in everything. Start having better thoughts, like happier thoughts. If some of you are, dwelling in this, like listening to the songs that remind you of that person, watching pick cards about that person, you might need to stop for a while in order to heal yourself. Because that's the only way that you're going to manifest, what's out there. But I would definitely try to add more positivity to your life, whether that's bringing in something like a hobby to distract you, or any way that you can bring more positivity into your life, because I feel like that's kind of where it's at right now. It's just it's a healing process, and it's going to come to you. And, that's what I'm seeing here for you guys. And I really wish you all the very, 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 very best. I said like 50 varies there for you. It means I'm for real. Okay. Let me know if this resonates with you. I'm really just sending you guys healing vibes in terms of, what you've been through. And again, oh, by the way, I want to say about this justice card before I move on, because I kind of didn't go into that beyond the specific message I had. That's another thing I'm going to say about justice, is like finding balance again within yourself. You know what I mean? That's kind of also goes along with this. And that I consume only my fair share. You see that balance there of like good, good and bad and stuff like that. Not letting one consume you. Bad thoughts consume you more than the good thoughts. Do you know what I mean? So, okay, that's what I've got for you guys. And I hope you, enjoyed this reading. If you did, again, let me know in the comments below if you'd like. Let me know you chose pile number 2. You don't have to go into your personal situation if you're not comfortable. But it'll give me a chance to like your comment, love it, give it a heart. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next reading. Okay, so if you've chosen pile number 3, this is going to be your reading. So let's see how you can, manifest that special person maybe that you have in your mind, or, somebody, new in your life. It doesn't have to be a specific person. It just could be, for love in general, like, your soulmate or whatever, what you want to meet and get together with. So we have the 5 of Swords, the 3 of Cups, the Empress, and the Emperor. I apologize for my trashy nails. I painted them red. It went real bad because it was kind of in the dark, and then I took it all off, and then I decided to just cut my nails, and I haven't done anything with them since. So I'm all natural right now. Okay, so let me just see here. Spin the David card. Okay. So I feel like I have a few. Okay, I have a few messages here. I feel like there are a good portion of you that are very distrustful in some way of your relationships, and it's not even actually from this. I'm trustful in my relationships. It's actually from the Five of Swords. Let me pick it up. So with the Five of Swords here, you know, in this particular deck, it does talk about like being embarrassed or being what is the word I'm looking for? Well, obviously at risk, okay? That's not the word I was looking for, but I'm just going to not dwell on that too long. It'll probably come to me. I feel like many of you are a very gentle soul, okay? And that's really what I'm getting here with that Empress vibe. Very gentle person. And you might be afraid of what, you know, either opening up to somebody could give you, you know what I mean? Or what, you know, opening up to love in general and putting yourself out there can do to you. You might feel like, some of you, I feel like you might feel you have bad luck with relationships. Just because of these fairies that seem to be like, kind of like, hee, you know, like kind of, you know, being naughty. It's almost like you feel like there's just something going against you in love, that you're, you know, just too like sensitive in a way for it. And that's one message I'm seeing here. So I feel like being more trusting. And then we have the Three of Cups following it right after, right? So, and that's a very positive card. It's about, you know, spending good time with friends and good connections, happy connections. And I feel like that's another message for you, is to go out with friends more. But I have some other things here, and I'll get to that. There are a lot of messages here. Oh my goodness. Okay. So being more trusting in your relationships is something. Like opening yourself up a little bit more to other people is something that many of you probably need to be doing. And perhaps going out more. On the other hand, for some of you, okay, I think this is actually a separate message. Okay, so again, going out with friends and, you know, not being so afraid to put yourself out there in some way, to make yourself vulnerable and all of that. Now, and I'm going to read these messages in a minute, like from these cards, because especially this one, I'm not quite sure. I want to read it a little bit more. But with the Empress here, I do feel like many of you, like that could give you a nurturing, sensitive energy, but again, a nurturing energy. And what I'm kind of getting here with the Empress and do less is that many of you are mothers or have a very mothering type of personality. You might be helping out a lot of your friends all the time, maybe focusing on setting them up, or it doesn't even, you know, this can manifest in so many different ways with so many people, but it's almost like, I feel like you have that mothering energy that wants to do it all, to, you know, accomplish everything. And for some of you, that might be something where you need to do a little bit less, you know. See how she's trying to balance everything? It's like, don't be afraid to take breaks. You know what I mean? Maybe for some of you, yeah, like you're so worried about, you know, your children or things you need to tend to and nurture, that you're afraid to kind of put yourself out there. You know what I mean? Because you're not really taking the time to go out and have friends and go do things more out. You know what I mean? And getting out there. And that could be a combo of feelings for some of you, or these could be separate messages, okay? for many of you here with that Emperor and Empress, it's like I feel like many of you could be single parents, single, like, you know, a single parent, male or female, and it's like you have to fill both of those roles, and it's hard, and you're scared maybe also with this energy as well. For some of you, it could be that you're scared to bring people into your children's life, because you're scared, oh, like, you know, will they like them? Will it go well? It's a very scary thing, I could imagine, you know, to be in, because you don't know. It's, you know, you got to be protective and, you know, play both roles in a way, you know what I mean? Like, be that nurturer, be that protector. And it takes a lot of effort and time. And I feel like that's something that you need to, you know, keep doing, but realize that, you know, you're also, you know, you also deserve to have a good time and live your life, okay? Just, I feel like that's something big for you guys. And as well, okay, let's go into this. I embrace the all and spend the day with God, because I feel like these two are connected. Okay, let's see here. This book is a little bit, the cards don't have numbers, so you have to look it up and find it. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I embrace the all. Let's find it here. I embrace all. Oh, it's the last card. Okay, number 42. Number 41. And so becoming a cosmically aware, we illuminate our darkness with the sparks of light that experience provides us as we emerge from the caverns of ignorance into a space of crystalline clarity. Crystalline, I'm not sure. Clarity. To know the all, we must see the all as types of awareness, a nebula amid nebulousness, the key which opens all doors of perception and potential. Embracing this ideal, we find a relationship with the power of doing as well as being. We allow the stellar force of life to give us gravity in the moments that ground us, but also elevate us through levity, reflection, and creativity in the moments that knock us off our feet. The invisible patterns that govern intelligent design reveal their geometry in nature and the cosmos, and the varying degrees of consciousness you ascend toward as you learn and find your vision by embracing the all. Man is a star bound to a body until its end. He is freed through his strife. Only by struggle and toiling thy utmost shall the star within thee bloom out in new life. He who knows the commencement of all things, free is his star from the realm of night. Once you begin to see this pattern, the idea of embracing this ideal becomes manifest in awareness of the concept that creation created you to be creative. All was within, but also without, and if you look beyond the surface, you can appreciate this pattern with your every breath. You are the cosmos made of consciousness, and this moment is but one chapter in a story that never ends. All is within, but also without. Man, this stuff's deep. Wow. I do feel like there's definitely some hardcore spiritual messages here with that card. It's almost like throwing me for a loop. It's a very strong message here about, I think, delving more into your spiritual side. Because we also have to spend the day with God here. And, you know, whether you believe in God or not, you know what I mean? Whatever you believe in, but spending the time with, you know, your spirit, with yourself, with your guides, whatever you believe in. You know, this card is just, it says God, but it doesn't have to be, you know, a certain God or whatever. It could be, you know, whatever God or thing you consider, of course. So it says, this is a day for you to spend with God, a day of prayer, a day of silence. Imagine that your entire world is a sacred chapel. Every inch of your life is filled with grace and the presence of the divine. Your goal, to visualize yourself in the company of heaven every minute of the day. I feel like many of you are going through a big spiritual awakening right now. And this is something that should continue for you. If you haven't begun it, you will soon. One thing that struck me about this card is it said something about the all is within but also without, and if you look beyond the surface, you appreciate this pattern with your every breath. You are the cosmos made conscious, and this moment is but one chapter in a story that never ends. Oh, man. I almost just feel like what it's kind of trying to tell you is like, you know, you're in this period of your life, you know what I mean, where you might not think you have in some way this ability to attract what you want. For some of you, you may have been hurt in the past, or, you know, I feel like there are different people here. And then I feel like there are many of you that are, you know, of this, like, you know, like single parent energy. I feel like many of you are like that. But it's like kind of realizing that, you know, life is so bigger than us. You know, time goes and you gotta make the most of it in a way, is kind of what I'm getting from that. That's just the vibe. Like, I embrace it all, like all of it, not just that part of me. You know what I mean? I embrace all parts of me, because we have that Empress and the Emperor energy as well. For some of you, like, you know, if you don't resonate with like the single parent thing, or being a parent, you know, that's fine. For some of you, it could be about balancing that Emperor and Empress energy within yourself, that receptive, but, you know, one that, you know, also the more dominant energy that puts things out there and puts it into motion. For some of you, it could be that you're so focused on, you know, work and trying to, you know, create an abundant life in other ways, that love doesn't always just, it kind of goes on the back burner for you guys as well. And so it's kind of where I'm like do less and, you know, focus more on manifesting love into your life. You know, with that, spend the day with God and I embrace all. It could be like, you know, again, too, with the I'm trustful in my relationship. So I get, for many of you, you could have been hurt in the past here with that Five of Swords. That gives you a nervous energy in terms of your relationships. And it's like, I'm trustful in my relationships. I embrace it all. I finished a cycle, and, you know, it was just a chapter in my life, like the book, you know, the guidebook had said. And I can realize that doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be the end of, you know, my life. You know, it was just one chapter, and, you know, I learned from it, and I can, you know, use that information going forward into creating a new chapter, okay? I hope that this reading isn't too all over the place. I feel like there are really deep messages here. I feel like many of you really do need to be working on your spirituality. I feel like many of you are going through something really big. And I almost feel like that when you do, I want to say this because I feel like this is the truth. I feel like many of you are manifesting a soulmate type of connection, like you know, or, you know, I know twin flame is like the thing that everybody's really into right now, and maybe that's something, you know, you're looking for that connection. You're looking for that spiritual connection, for that special connection. And it might be like you're in a place right now where you feel like it could never happen, you know, for some reason, for whatever reason it is. Obviously, you all have different lifestyles and different situations in life. But I feel like it's absolutely possible. I feel like you're on that verge of the new, you know, your new chapter. I would feel like, you know, for affirmations, there are some good affirmations right here in this area. You know, like, I'm trustful in my relationships. I trust people. I can trust people. I can open my heart again. You know what I mean? I embrace everything. I embrace the good, the bad that's happened to me. You know what I mean? I can embrace it all and be happy and move forward. Do you know what I mean? You know, I can do less. I don't have to do everything. I don't have to be everything. You know, I can have my own time. I can balance, you know, the feminine and masculine energies within me. You know, I can not always have to be a leader. You know what I mean? I can sometimes be a lover. You know what I mean? That's kind of that thing. Or I don't always have to be, you know, the mother to everybody around me. You know what I mean? I can be, you know, I can take charge of my own life. These are just types of affirmations, and I think messages that would be good for you to kind of, you know, focus on right now. And I also feel like, you know, prayer or meditation or whatever you know, it's a very similar type of thing in a way. But with that spend the day with God, it's like I almost feel like it's something you need to focus on. You may get messages in this type of atmosphere when you're in meditation of clues on kind of what you need to do in a way. So yeah, I hope this resonates for you. I'm trying to, you know, get all of my thoughts out. I'm not always the best speaker. I wish I was a better speaker, but I hope this helps you and it was understandable for you. I feel like there are different people watching this with different situations, so I'm hoping that I was able to reach you all with this message. And you know, I wish you all the very, very, very best. And you know, that you manifest and you bring into your life whatever, you know, you need and want. And don't be so, like, you know, hard on yourself and stuff. And, you know, realize that you can trust again, that there will be people out there that are meant for you, that will treat you right. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there, okay? So, wishing you all the very best, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, so if you've chosen pile number 4, this is going to be your reading. So, how can you manifest, you know, the love you're looking for in your life? Either that, you know, specific person, or, you know, maybe a specific person you have on your mind is what I mean, or maybe, you know, just love in general, like that, you know, soulmate that you're looking for, that person that you're looking for. So we've got the 7 of air. Okie dokie. Let me just move that a little bit. If you hear the guitar in the background, that is my husband playing. I don't know if it's going to be audible on camera or not. He's just messing around on his guitar. Okay, so we've got... This is such a clear meaning here. I feel like this one's much more clear than the... Not clear, but I feel like it's a little less complicated than the other piles. Some of the... I feel like pile number 2 and 3 were very, like, kind of like super deep. And not that yours isn't deep, but I feel like there's such a clear message here that's going to be very easy for me to translate. You guys need to get out more. You guys need to travel. I feel like many of you, I feel led to say this, and I feel led to say this, like, since when I was shuffling, I saw that world card, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know what they need to do. They need to travel. And then I was mind blown because I was shuffling the Amenti Oracle, and it was like I regaled altars and respect. I had seen that card kind of like flash by, and I was like, oh my god, I wonder if they need to open up their mind and travel, and they're going to meet someone abroad. And then it came out, and it was like, it actually came out. I was like, okay, if this is spirit, like this is meant to be, let it come out again. And it came out, and I was like, yeah, okay. So, you know, that was kind of a confirmation for my thoughts. So I feel like many of you, travel is something that you need to start looking into. I feel like many of you, that's how you're going to manifest, you know, the love of your life, or that person. It could be if you have a specific person on your mind that lives far away from you, you need to go to them. And it says, like, this is just what I got from this card intuitively, okay? And that was just, and I asked for confirmation again, and it came out. So I feel like that's definitely a confirmation. I'm not sure exactly what the meaning is in the guidebook, but I'm not exactly going off that. I'm going off my intuition. So, and it's like, yeah, and then I set it right next to the world card. Look at that. That's like, I didn't even do it on purpose. Wow, okay, so I feel like many of you, okay, I feel like many of you are listening to other people way more than you should be. For many of you, this is going to be something. Because I listen to opposing opinions. And I'm pretty sure this is talking about, you know, listening to other people and not ignoring their advice. But in this case, with the Seven of Air here, I think there are two meanings here, but with the Seven of Air here, I feel like this is about nonconformity. It's about doing what you want to do, not doing what everyone expects you to do. And I feel like that's something that, you know, is going to, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there might be people who are kind of maybe stifling what you dream of. And that might be to travel. Maybe you know, or maybe you feel like, I feel like you have two sides. One encouraging you, one discouraging you, right? And it's like you're listening to both of them in a way. Like there's this duality here. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, I feel like you need to do what you want to do. Okay? With the Three of Water in this particular deck, it's all about celebrations and getting out and having fun. The same goes with the Four of Fire. It's like the Four of Wands. It's like about getting out and just living your stinking life, okay? And I really feel like for many of you, this is like such a travel message here. Like to get out, because I feel like you're gonna meet someone. Live in the moment, act rather than wait, right? Some of you, and it could even be, if it's not like, perhaps there are your own opinions in your head. I should do this. I shouldn't do this. I should do this. I shouldn't do this. It's a good idea. No, it's a bad idea. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I feel like there is this, like, you know, duality going on. And there could be some of you that are questioning whether it's a good idea. Like, oh, maybe we're going to be too different. Maybe it won't work out. I feel like that could be overcome. If that is a concern for some of you, that's a, you know, a specific message that may not, you know, be an issue for all of you. But that's what I'm kind of getting. I feel like, you know, time's a wasting. You know what I mean? Just go do what you want to do. You want to go meet that person? Go meet that person. You know, if you want to meet them up in real life. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you've been talking to somebody. Or, you know, or maybe there's, you know, a place you've always wanted to go to. And you feel drawn to go there, but then the other part of you is like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Later, you know, might not happen. You know what I mean? We're just living. We don't know how long we're living for. And that's kind of the thing I'm getting here. Live in the moment. Do what you want. Don't think about what other people want. Think about what you want. And that's kind of like what I feel the message is for you. Like, it's super simple and short. And I feel like this is like, the other readings went way longer than this. But I just don't see anything else here. I feel like that is your message. For real. Yeah, so let's see here. Anything else I see? No, that's it. Like, I don't see anything more than that. It's so simple. So in terms of like affirmations about, you know, what I think that could help you in terms of manifesting this is like, well, I'm living in the moment. I'm acting. I'm not waiting. I'm not going to wait for a day that will never come. You know what I mean? I'm going to make it come. You know, like this type of stuff. You know, I'm a world traveler or whatever, you know, affirmations, of course, would be so individual to your situation. But it's like, you know, I can do what I want. I can go meet new people. I can, you know, have fun. I can, you know what I mean? Whatever is holding you back, obviously, specifically. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't have time to travel because I have so much work, or I have this to do or that to do, these goals to accomplish. But it's like telling you, you know, time's ticking, and, you know, you just need to act on it rather than, you know, sit around and wait for it to come, you know, to happen to you. But yeah, that's a strong message, and maybe this won't resonate with everyone. If so, you could pick another pile or maybe find a different reading. But like, this is just such a strong message for me, so it's just as simple as that. So I hope that helps you, and if it does, you know, let me know in the comments below. And, you know, if you haven't subscribed already, I'd love to have you stick around, and I hope to see you all in the next reading.